I hope we're live. Fuck, we better be live.
What is up, fellow Vapours? We are live
Hey
once
guys.
again. Third show of the year.
Is it actually the third show?
It is the third show of the year.
Oh, shout out Tim. Thank you, bro. I love you.
What did Tim do?
He said I'm allowed to have this in my hand on the show, so I'm happy.
Hey!
I don't have to sit there and go.
All right, Cam. How you going?
What are you vaping on, Tom?
No.
I'm doing good.
You doing good? You doing good?
I'm tired. I'm hot.
You tired? You hot?
It's so fucking hot.
Well,
right
you're
now,
always
dude.
hot anyway, but you know.
Dude,
Hey, baby
29
girl.
degrees all day. If you guys are vaping right now, I hope you guys are vaping on some like fruity, sweet tenderness. Like, mate, it is way too warm to vape anything that is not fruity right now, or even like
Desserty.
soda-y. Dude, I've been vaping tobacco all day, and I'm just like,
I picked up my peas before as well, and I was like, that black note. Oh. Uh-huh.
dude, it's fruity. It's good. I need to do something because I totally haven't done it yet.
What haven't you done?
Opened up the flavor profiles for these amazing juices.
Cam, you
How's it
fuck
going,
up.
Daniel? MS, how are we doing tonight, guys?
We're like
How are
covering
we
the
doing?
branding. It's kind of like, yeah, there we go. Hey, Armada.
So as you can probably tell by behind us, we do have ARMADA Vapour juice with us this evening. Mine's in front of me, fully untouched except for one which I just filled up into the skunk bottle, and this, like, oh my god. I know Tom's been vaping most of these all week, and I'm really...
Especially yesterday at Soundgarden, mate. I was like smashing through that shit.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's do this. Tom, hey Jess, how's it going, Jessica? I probably should do this because I totally forgot to, Jess. I'm sorry.
Cam, you're such a cuck. You're bloody useless.
There we go. Just had to add your link to the description. My bad.
All right, Cam. What are you
Okay.
vaping on tonight?
So I don't even want to talk about the last thing I'm vaping on, but so got the legit mod with the iconic. There will be a review coming for this very, very soon.
Don't show me it.
Next week, hopefully,
don't
as
wanna
long as
see
Tom
the
gets us
iconic.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't want to see it. No spoilers.
And then I've got what we will be talking about as well, the RSQ by Hotcig and Rigmods with the Haku. This thing brings out all different kinds of notes. And oh, did you just? Oh, you're filthy, man.
What? I can dual do it as well.
What's up, Anaru? In that one, there's already Pink Parrot, so I actually have technically vaped this juice now. And then, last but not least, this. Hey,
Fuck you.
you're so
like
jealous.
not
Tom.
showing it. It's like below
so-
camera.
I think this is actually this would be the first time it's been live on YouTube.
Yeah.
The Omen, fully unetched. So this is actually a prototype that I was kindly lent for, I think it's 3 weeks. Just gonna throw it out there, Tom. I get it for 3 weeks.
Fuck you.
And it's the Omen. £10 dropped this off yesterday or the day before, and it literally hasn't left my hand since because of how fucking comfy it is.
Lucky
We will be
schmuck.
doing a review for these when we actually get our full review copies, and I'm looking forward to it. It's so pretty. Wait, Jess, which one are we talking about? Are we talking the first, the second, or the third?
There's so much delay.
There's so many pretty devices, like,
And there's so much delay.
and that too. Also, I do have to mention, Jess did PM me earlier, and there is a discount code for the juice, 25% off
Ooh.
for her 500 likes promo.
Ooh.
The code is VapeNZ, all lowercase. So if you do want these juices, well, actually no, go buy these juices because from the one I'm vaping right now, they taste pretty damn good.
Damn straight.
What are you
Damn
vaping,
straight.
Tom?
I've got the Endo as always with the Elite. It's always the Endo or the 99A. Like it's always got to be a 26650 stack.
I've got to have something to compensate with.
And then
Yeah.
I've got my Dot Skonk RX Machina with the Captain RTA, which is a brilliant combo for everyday use. It's like a 0.17, which is unheard of for me. And then the RXQ with the Gorge RDA on top.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite mods I own. Now after Wellington Vape Day, I own 4 of the legit mods. I have
Don't
an
be
addiction.
tipping that fucking iconic, mate. Not with that fucking juice well.
Just waiting for it to leak.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty good, even as a dripper. It's pretty good.
Bottom airflow though, man.
Yeah.
Alright, man. So, shall we jump onto the first juice?
I don't know, should we?
Yeah, we should. We'll jump onto the first juice, and then we'll jump into the RSQ and then go through the rest of the juices, because that's probably going to be the best way to do it.
Sweet. So, did I open the wrong one? Good work, Cam. Good work. It is Strawberry Siren. Layers of fresh strawberries with cream and vanilla. A quintessential summer dessert. I love how all these juices, like, they are very summery. Honestly.
I love the labels, man. Just the art on the labels is just fantastic, especially this dude. Little grumpy bubble.
Okay, let me add a bit more.
Add a bit more. Not enough juice.
That's actually a pretty damn good strawberry and cream, dude.
Hell yeah, man. I almost get like a nice strawberry milkshake from it.
Yeah, it's like, this might sound weird, but strawberry ripple ice cream.
Yes. Yes.
It's fucking delicious. I'm actually, that's going into the vape pile. It's actually not a bad vape. Honestly,
the real question is, what's in your not vape pile?
There's a lot. I've got a bag over there somewhere that's a no vape pile.
No vape pile.
Well, I take it to like vape days. That's the juice I'm not a big fan of, and I just throw it on a table and give it away. Definitely a nice. It's not too heavy though. I have to give it that. It's not one of those like normally strawberry and creams. It's really hard to get a decent strawberry cream in New Zealand. I'm gonna say it.
Very well balanced as well.
Yeah.
Like it's not overpowering strawberry, because strawberry concentrate itself is like super overpowering.
Oh yeah.
So it's like really, really well balanced with the cream, and it's really enjoyable. Even during summer, man, like even though sort of I reserve the desserty flavors for winter, this is still quite summery.
Yeah.
I am, man. I am, but
same.
I'm not.
I've become heavier of a seasonal vapor.
But
cleans and back to it.
Coming from me as like a fruity vapor, it's the right amount of fruit.
Yeah. There's not too much of that strawberry. There's not too much of the cream. There's not too much of the vanilla. It's the perfect balance, as you said. There's layers.
Yeah. No harshness whatsoever as well.
Damn it, you beat me to it. That was actually literally what I was about to say. Like, with strawberry smooth concentrates, like, oh shit, I'm knocking juice over left, right, and center. Fuck. With a lot of strawberry concentrates, like when I play around with juices, I find strawberry can be quite a take your breath away kind of flavor.
And creams.
And cream.
Creams as well tend to kind of tickle your throat, but this one's actually quite well done.
Since you're here, Jess, do you pre-steep? And what's your pre-steep time? If you can disclose that, you know.
You don't have to.
Because that would be that'd be interesting to know. And also, Jess, if you're still around, what's your ratio? Because
it's not on there, right?
I'm blind as shit, or else it's not on there.
Nah.
Because that's one thing we do like to know. I mean, I can vape 50-50, no problem. But obviously there are a lot of people with those PG allergies or dislike for PG.
Or intolerances, yeah.
Oh, dude, I gotta vape this. Give me a sec.
See, I've got a tank full, so I'll just keep vaping it during the show.
Yeah, see, I have to dry this RDA out, as well as this RDA
I'll have to say with the Strawberry Siren, I did try it in an RDA, and it was very, very different to what I'm getting off this RTA. Like the RTA... Hey, Gary, I miss you. The RTA seems to bring out different flavor notes. Like, it's much smoother.
Even on like this, it's not throaty, it's not punchy, it's not killing me. Whereas normally with strawberries and creams, I just can't do them. Yep.
but not like a bad it.
Oh,
Just
dude,
get a
I'm looking
throat
forward to
tickle.
this next one.
All
This
right.
next one is on my.
We'll do the next one after the RSQ because the RSQ needs to be talked about.
I want to vape it. No, okay, yeah, sweet. Okay, that's cool. All right, so you've got your lights on. See, I've got mine off because I'm sick of that shit.
I've got it set to blue.
Pre-steeped and 70-30.
Sick.
That would be cool. Max VG would be awesome, especially for those cloud chasers out there. Even if it's like 80-20, you know.
Even 10-90.
90-10.
90-10, whatever. The RSQ. It's quite an interesting device with transparent batteries. Let me take the battery out.
Here we go.
It's quite an interesting device. It is a regulated device, so it does have a chip and all that stuff. It is a single 18650. It is smaller than the Dot Squonk by quite a considerable, by quite a little bit on the top, and then sideways it's a slight bit smaller as well.
Yeah, it's probably a good 2 centimeters, centimeter and a half kind of thing going on. It's not.
It's convenient size. It's like pocketable. The system itself is.
It's a Hotcig chip, eh?
It's a Hotcig chip, but what they've done, sneakishly, is that it's very, very much a DNA sort of system.
Like this sort of.
Turn it around and it'll help. Like even if you look at the screen layout, it's very, very similar.
DNA-esque.
To the DNA.
DNA-esque.
The software, so the PC software that you use to update it and change your battery milliamp hours and all that kind of stuff, is borderline identical to eScribe, which is what you use for the DNA devices. So you've got so much control with this device. You can change the way each screen looks. You can put logos on there. You can do anything you want. The user interface is very, very friendly. It only goes up to 80 watts, so an 80 watt maximum. Which, you know, in all fairness, when you're squonking is actually pretty good. I've been rocking it at 65 with a single Vapour in there. And it's been really, really enjoyable. I'm not overly impressed with the battery life, but ever since I changed the milliamp hours on the software...
See, I need to do mine.
Yeah, ever since I did that, man, it's changed it completely. Like, it does last longer. I do get roughly 190 to 200 puffs out of it per battery. So I've been resetting the puff counter every time I change the battery.
I've been doing how many hours I get. I get anywhere from 2 to 4 hours from one battery at 70 watts with a 0.18 single coil. So, I mean, if you figure that out, it's not too bad. It could be better. Obviously, single battery, you can't expect too much from it.
So it does come with a silicone bottle, and it comes with a plastic bottle as well. So it is a soft titty bottle, as me and Cam call it. And then it is a Rigmod branded device as well, but it is made by Hotcig.
So designed by Rig.
Yeah.
Made by Hotcig.
My one gripe is this side here where they put the RSQ on it isn't carbon fiber.
Yeah.
And it is real carbon fiber. It's not just a wrap like the Captain and all of the other
literally,
devices.
you consider and you can feel it.
Yeah, you can feel the bumps.
It's real carbon.
Everything. As far as the LED goes, so it does go 3 different colors. It is an RGB LED, which is quite interesting because if it's a red, green, and blue, you should be able to change it to custom colors as well, but you cannot, unfortunately. Well, not that I know
if it's gonna show up the green, but
so red. Yeah, I was about to swap it to RGB. Nah, green just makes the bottle disappear.
So yeah, it just goes between them, circles between them. So it's nice, but
on the software itself, Anaru, there is a setting where you tell it what milliamp hours your battery is. So by default, it's set to 2,600. So if you were to put a VTC4 in there, which is 2,100 milliamp hours, your battery's going to cut off before your battery is actually depleted. So when you put it into your charger, it's going to be much higher voltage. But if you set it to 2,100 and you're using VTC4, then you're pretty much sorted. it tends to make the battery last a little bit longer.
See, I kind of want to test a so we just got them in at the store, the 30Qs. I kind of want to buy a couple sets, or 2 batteries, and test them out and see if I'm going to get better battery life with it.
I reckon you would, just because it is a 3,000 milliamp hour.
3,000 milliamp.
The only thing then is, well, I mean, even your build wouldn't matter too much. It does have bypass mode as well, so you can bypass it and use it like a sort of semi-regulated
single tube
mech squonk. It also has temp control, and that's the biggest thing for me that sort of drew me to this device.
Yeah,
is because I've kind of been rediscovering temp control, and temp control, don't get me wrong, temp control in a normal mod with normal coils, like as a day-to-day use, I don't think is very nice, but temp control when you're using a squonk makes a difference, especially when you're single coiling it and all that stuff. The 510 is probably one of the nicest 510s I've ever seen on a device. It is proper bolted to the device itself, so it's got the little screws. And then the 510 pin as well is spring-loaded, and it's got a nice big...
It's really... Like, I have to give it to Rig. I don't know if you guys know the Rigmod company, but very, very big company in the States. They mainly do tubes.
Very high-quality tubes as well.
Very, very high quality. And I must admit, Hotcig, like, from the past, they haven't made the best, highest quality devices. They made some good quality devices, but
some nice devices, just not necessarily the best.
They've stepped up with this. Like, obviously, Rig collabing with them, they've said, it's going to have our name on it. We're making this shit, pretty much, and that's exactly it. Like, and now I finally own something with the Rigmod logo on it. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Basically, Anaru. The biggest thing for me that really draws me to this product is for just one sec, going back to the dot squonk. The dot squonk being $160, which is great for a 2700 and 18650 squonk with a 12mm bottle. Like, that is a great price.
That's cheap, yeah.
But this is even cheaper at 120. So in terms of price, this definitely surpasses the dot squonk, but quality as well. It's not, I wouldn't say the quality surpasses the dot squonk, but I'd say they're on par for sure. The screen they actually use is the same screen as the DNA chips, which was a good little fun Google. So it's the same clarity and crispness that you get from a DNA screen, and so the fact
$119.
Yeah.
So cheap. I'm contemplating getting another one, to be honest. Jess, that PM you sent me on Facebook, holy shit. Okay, that's cool. So we do have a couple giveaways as well from Jess.
No, why not?
Yeah. So we talked about it a while ago, and she's like, "Oh, we'll do a couple lines." She just said, we'll do 3 lines." So 3 full lines to give away.
Wait.
So that's gonna be sick, because this juice, from what I've tasted already.
So with that note, we'll move into the Kraken Cola, which is what I've actually got in the RSQ at the moment.
Fizzy cola with a hint of vanilla for a perfect mix of refreshment. And my screen just went black, and nostalgia. There we go. I knew it was in.
So in terms of the Kraken Cola, I've had a lot of colas in my time vaping and stuff, and a lot of them are very artificial, very sort of fake tasting. But if you've ever had a Karma Cola, so the Karma Cola brand, like the same ones who do the Gingerella and the whatever the lemonade's called and all that stuff, which are organic Cokes, or the Phoenix Cola even. I'd even go as far as to say that.
This reminds me, yesterday I took Tim out to Okina Falls, and we sat down and had Karma Cola, and this reminds me exactly of Karma Cola.
Like, it's identical, man, and it's beautiful. Like, it's very, very vapeable, and I'd imagine this to go very well with different juices as well. In terms of mixing it with like a raspberry or something else that you've got sitting on your shelf. But in terms of flavor, it's like spot on Karma Cola, organic, beautiful, tasty cola that's really refreshing. It doesn't have any sort of sickly artificial notes at all, which I really, really like, man. Like, this is definitely... Well, it's four juices, so it's definitely my top 3. But yeah, it's definitely something I'd go and get again for sure.
Yeah, dude, this is actually oh shit,
Cam's dying.
dry throat. This is actually really, really palatable. And as Tom said, tastes like chemical. It literally does.
Like spot on, man.
This week's juice sponsor, Lipton.
Oh yeah.
It's just double checking it's not a Coca-Cola brand. Yeah, I'm actually digging it, dude. So I did smell these a couple days ago just to, check them out. I had to.
Gotta sniff it.
I was just like,
Gotta sniff it.
Wanna vape it, no, sniff it. And then having Karma yesterday and now having this, it's like, dude, I want Karma Cola. So good. Also, what's at it?
So good.
$15.95 for a 30 ml.
Hell yeah.
Cheap.
Not bad.
So cheap.
Not bad at all. Alright, so moving on. We'll move on to the one you like and you want to keep vaping. The Pink Parrot, which is actually what I was vaping all day yesterday at the Soundgarden. And it's definitely
Dude, it's
up
it's so light. Like, it's not overpowering. So the Pink Parrot is a cold glass of pink lemonade. Tastes like the homemade stuff. It's literally the profile. Like, and that's it. It's definitely a pink lemonade. For sure. There's no pussyfooting around. It's a pink lemonade. Pussyfooting.
Yeah, definitely a pink lemonade, and it's great. It's refreshing. It's tasty. You even get that soda-iness afterwards, which is nice.
I kind of wish I could have opened this bottle this morning and just vaped it all today.
Yeah,
Today has been hot as fuck.
Yeah, getting there.
I literally just filled up the squonk, and that's it. We need to stop doing this. You vape it and I don't, or vice versa.
Or just why don't we just both vape it? You know, like get a feel for the land before the show.
Oh, dude.
But so far, out of actually all the juices, I've been vaping them since I received them, which was on
Monday.
Tuesday. One of the days.
I think.
Been vaping them since then, and it's definitely not like they're all day vapes, like hands down. You wouldn't get sick of any of the flavors. None of them are overpowering. None of them are harsh. They're all smooth. They're all flavorsome, so that you continue on vaping them, which is a big problem with a lot of juice. Not necessarily what our New Zealand vendors make, because it's quite nice juice. But a lot of American stuff, if you vape it for more than a day, you're like, you know.
Or I started this is kind of a weird little side thing on American juice and international juice. I actually started getting ulcers from vaping it for like 5-6 days straight. So I've had to cut down how much I'm vaping the international, and I love some of the American juices. Like Charlie Noble's to me is amazing juice.
But like I find like the OG granola from the whatever the heck they are, the Yogi range, like that's great as like a once in a while, but I can't vape it constantly. I just can't. It's like too much.
Yeah.
It's like too much of what it's trying to achieve. Versus all of these well balanced, tasty, delicious. But the Pink Parrot again is definitely got layers. Definitely got the top notes, middle and bottom notes, which is quite nice. Like it's not just, you know, one solo thing that's sort of...
Yeah, it's not just, you know...
Yeah.
The pink side of the lemonade or more lemonade than anything. I'm gonna keep vaping this for a bit.
Me too, man. Got it in the recoil and it's fucking beautiful on some Fraples.
See, that's why I thought I'd throw it in the Haku, because with the Haku I find it gives as much flavor as possible.
Yeah, you're basically
almost emphasizes the flavor.
Yeah. Boosting the flavor.
Boost.
Little flavor boost. And then last but not least, we'll jump on to the Bubble Barnacle. which you can read the profile. I'll show the bottle again.
Before we do that, Maxi, you should have tried it at Wellington Vape Day. It was on the stall at HB Vapor. I was so tempted to actually try it. So Bubble Barnacle. He's a little cute little angry guy. Chewy, sweet, pink bubblegum. Taste the texture. Give me a sec. That is dry as shit now.
So good, man.
Okay, let's do this. Actually, I'm gonna smell the bottle again.
Sniff it.
This, just the smell of it. Oh, what was the name of the gum?
You know the extra gum, the pink one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that, as well as back when I was a kid, you used to buy the packs with the tattoos.
Yeah.
Like, almost like Big Red gum, but not Big Red gum, because Big Red was brutal. This definitely has that kind of nostalgic smell for me.
The flavor, though, the taste, like, is just pure bliss, man. It's so fresh, and I've got a box of the extra fucking pink one that they re-released, because they used to do that when I was like a small kid as well, and then they decided to re-release it.
Yep.
And it tastes like that, man, and it fucking any day, man, any day, real fresh.
Oh, looks like I'm not going to the lake.
But yeah, like very, very tasty, very well balanced, you know?
Yeah. This is... Okay, I'm going to be blatantly honest, I couldn't vape this all day.
I could.
Because with chewing gum, me and chewing gum, I can't do it all day. And
Yeah.
that's it. And
Which is fair.
this is something I would vape probably, you know, in the morning because it's so light, or just before I go to bed because it's so light. There's no heaviness to it. It's nice and refreshing, but it still has a good amount of body of flavor. Like,
Yeah.
Same again. All these juices, I don't know how long you spent on them, Jess, but I feel like it's a long ass time because you've got those layers down packed.
Yeah, like the flavors are so well balanced, just perfectly balanced, and you almost get like that freshness that you get from like the extra gum as well, which is
it's
brilliant, fucking brilliant. Definitely my top. So as usual, we've gone through them in our like sequence of favorites. So hands down, favorite is the Bubble Barnacle. Pink
I'm stuck between these two, man.
Yeah,
Pink Parrot and the Bubble.
That was the biggest choice for me, but just that freshness and the throwback to the old extra, you know, like it's just, to me it just won it for me. But yeah, so Bubble, Pink Parrot, Kraken Cola, and then Strawberry Siren, but all of them really are tasty, and I'm gonna keep vaping them constantly. You know, that's the beauty of it.
Dude, I'm so glad I didn't get to vape them earlier.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now you can enjoy it for a while, and you don't have to worry about running out before the show.
Oh. It's the mod, the juice. It's just like the perfect combo.
So, couple of things. Next week on the show, we've got Deep South Resistance. So we'll have their lineup. Hopefully Anaru's sorted his shit and he's gonna jump on the show as well.
Oh yeah.
Because we're gonna make Harmony feel real bad, and we're gonna have a 3-way review of the Iconic, which will be quite interesting. You know, we love 3-ways, so why not?
About 3 years in the making. Damn,
that's a long time. That is a long ass time.
I mean, the cheesecake that I've been working on, that's taken over a year.
How long have I been making juice?
Well, I've known you, what, a year and a half now?
2 years.
No, 2 years now.
Yeah, and I was making juice already. Yeah, so let's say 2.5.
You mean...
OG flatless, mate. You should vape it.
I'm good.
It's probably turned to shit.
Actually, that reminds me, I need to give Tim a bottle of that Smoking Pink Bits because I found 2 bottles.
Oh, sorted. But yeah, like you can tell with these juice.
On the show? Damn.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Harms. You're gonna have to deal with it.
You can tell these juices have been worked on for sure.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely, it's already an end product. You know, like it's.
Well, it's almost. This sounds real cheesy and stuff, but it's like there's a lot of love put into it as well.
Yeah,
like it's
definitely.
not just like she's
Slapped
grabbed a
together
bunch
some
of concentrates
shit.
and gone,
Yeah.
and then gone, yeah, we'll release it.
Yeah.
You've actually done a lot of time and a lot of obviously process of elimination on flavors.
It's alright, Harmony. You can hold the camera for Anaru.
I love watching that.
So,
back to our old roots.
Next week on the show, if he sorted his iconic, then we'll be doing a spit roast of Anaru and talking about the iconic. He's in the middle because, you know, he's beautiful and all that.
Well, yeah.
So,
I don't want to touch you, jeez.
And then we've got Deep South Resistance, and then the week after that we've got some stuff planned, and then the week after that we've got some stuff planned, which is going to be great. So it's going to be fantastic.
We're busy. We are busy.
We are going to be very, very busy, which is going to be very good. But
so much juice, so many things to review.
Yeah, something we need to cover, Cam, which we haven't talked about in a while, but we do need to cover it because of the amount of new vapors who are coming on board recently. Which I'm sure you know what I'm gonna say, but Maxi, just wait a couple of days, weeks, and you'll be able to get some pigments.
Should be out very soon.
Should be out very, 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 very soon. But yeah, so something that we haven't talked about in a while that we do need to cover because of the influx of new vapors, which is. You know what it is, Ken?
It's either battery safety or mech safety or all of the above.
Which is battery safety and mech safety kind of goes hand in hand anyway. Pink bed. Yeah, battery safety is something that is often overlooked. Generally not, though, but often overlooked, especially with the influx of mech users, especially with the influx of new vapors. A lot of new vapors being convinced to get a mech mod before it is time to do so, but that's okay.
That's definitely true. I mean, so the way I look at it is there are so many people just throwing out advice at this point.
Yeah,
it's awesome, but please make sure it is the right advice. Battery Mooch is the guy I go to for everything. I mean, he's got 4 key points on his e-cigarette forum, and it says, you know, only buy batteries from either known or trusted vendors.
Yeah,
simple. You know, don't go to JCar and buy batteries. I've seen it. I've literally seen
PB Tech sells LG HG2s, the logs. Yeah,
I've literally seen people walk in with unsafe batteries. So do not go to JCar and buy torch batteries for your vape. Because they're normally 4 to 9 amps.
Why not? The milliamp hours. Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that we need to cover with battery safety. Firstly, if you haven't done so, there's this weird-ass dude who seems to love me, who's in the chat, who's called All Clouded. Click on his little bubble next to his name. Go subscribe to him because his videos are probably some of the top videos in terms of battery safety and mech safety that exist. So if you haven't done that already, please take a moment to do so. But yeah.
Also, whilst I'm at it, Mooch has got, and Jess and All Clouded have already said it. Mooch does now actually have.
Yeah.
Did I send the wrong? I totally did. That is totally the wrong link. Give me a sec. Mooch Battery is his name, and I went to Mooch instead. Battery Mooch. There we go. Boom. Toasted. My bad, guys. Do not click on that link. I can actually remove that link. Give me a sec.
That's right, mate. If it takes us to your nugget porn fantasy, then so be it.
So that is... So Minding Your Mars is the series that he's doing right now, and I literally watch it when I go to bed, because there is so much information that I seem to retain it better when I'm asleep. As weird as that sounds.
Fair enough.
And like he literally says on his ECF forums, you know, never use batteries, chargers, or devices that are not in perfect working order. So if you've got next dents, anything like that, don't use your freaking batteries. That's That's uno, like number one on my list. If you've got nicks, tears, anything like that, you don't use those batteries. I've got a set of batteries that have been sitting on my desk for like 8 months that I'm going to throw in the bin because they are beat to shit. Simple.
The biggest thing as well, and this is going to be slightly controversial, but it's kind of got to be said, is the sort of the safe build for a mech tube. When you first start off on mech tubes, a lot of people do say go for a 0.22, which, yes, it's going to be safe no matter what battery you use. Firstly, my biggest recommendation is use VTC4s or any, like, close to 30 amp batteries as you can.
VTC 5As, 25 amp, you know, anything like that. If you can get 5As, 5As are good. Bit more milliamp, less amps. So, you know, you have to stay a bit higher in the resistance scale. I'm the same as Tom. I literally have like 30 VTC4s, and that's all I use.
Yeah, it's sort of the same for me, which is why I've got a VTC4 in the RSQ. But the whole thing of the 0.22, the problem with that is that if you are a reg user and you've been using a regulated mod for a long time, and you sort of, you know, you understand how, you know, you're so familiar with that kind of vape experience where you push the button and you get, you know, clouds.
Or 100 watts, you know, 100 watts is 100 watts.
Exactly. Where you're going to put your 0.22 build on your mech tube, you're going to push a button and you're going to be like, is that what mechs are? You know, like, it's not necessarily the most enjoyable, I'd have to say, in terms of build for a mech tube. Which is where knowing your shit is going to be your best friend, basically. If you know your battery amperage, if you're using your amp calculators and all that stuff on Steam Engine, for example, which is kind of the best way to do it anyway, even for people who are experienced using mech tubes, even myself, I still do it now. I just check the amperage, so I'm sure that I'm not going too far over or over. In most cases, too far over. But, like, for example, this is probably a good example, is I've got a 0.17 in here, which, as Cam knows, is a lot higher than what I normally use on a mech tube. But it's quite enjoyable. So I'd say, like, 0.22 is good, but, like, 0.17, you're still going to be quite safe in terms of your build, especially if you're using VTC4s, you're going to be very safe. And you're going to get a lot more of the experience that you've had from your regulated devices than if you were to build that 0.22 or, you know, above. Not to say that you can't build a 0.3 single coil, put it on, and it's going to be good, but...
Yeah, it all comes down to, obviously, the individual. Like, I could throw this right here, which is a mouth-to-lung 0.7.
Yeah.
0.7 ohm. 1 second. Sorry, Tim, if you're watching. I'm going to put it on top of the omen. So, just so you guys can see, protruding 510 pin.
Yeah, quite far as well.
Very, very far.
Not as far as the captain.
So I'll unscrew the omen, and I mean, of course you did, Ren. I'm not surprised, dude. But so Ren had to play with mine saw mine at the lake the other day, and we were having yarns about it, and now he's bought one.
That's a 510 pin. Yeah. Look at that bitch. Look how long that is. Brilliant. That's what you need.
You know,
but yeah,
0.7,
it's still enjoyable, but I mean, it's totally dependent on what you're using on top of your mech mod. I wouldn't advise using tanks, even though me and Cam just fucking did. But yeah,
RTA is a bit different, protruding 510 pins. If you're going to use something like a TFV8, I will slap you. I'm saying it now.
Like, Cam will teleport into your room and slap you in the face.
Do not use a pre-made coil tank on a mech mod.
Personally,
I don't care how advanced you are.
Yeah,
but
personally, if I was to advise people on what build to kind of start with, if they're using a VTC4 in their mech, I kind of recommend the 0.16, 0.17 mark. That's just personally. I don't advise to do it to everyone, but it seems to be sort of the sweet spot where you're going to get that power that you're sort of used to from a regulated device, but you're still not going to be unsafe in terms of your amperage. That's not to say though that you should go buy some LG poo logs, put it in your mech, and do that, because that's not going to be very enjoyable unless you don't like your face. But yeah, so mech safety, it's kind of this it's kind of like the robotic laws in the sense that, like, you know, the robots can't harm each other, can't harm humans, yada 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 yada. But it's check your batteries. That's the biggest fucking thing I could have ever advised. A micro nick, which is very, very common, but often overlooked, is the difference between you keeping your face and not, or your mod auto-firing. In which case, if your build's unsafe and your mod's auto-firing, you're basically holding a bomb.
Well, yeah, it's literally a time bomb waiting to happen.
Yeah, exactly, because it's firing away, but it's not able to stop, so it's eventually going to overheat. But yeah, so micro nicks are something that you do have to check for. Micro nicks are the hardest thing to find, especially on batteries because of the colored wraps.
I found one yesterday. So I was using the Aegis 2700 mode, and the only way to actually get your batteries to stay in there properly is with a vape band.
Yeah.
And I pulled out the 2700 that was in there, one of my iJoys, and now there's a micro nick right at the top.
Yeah.
And
it's like it's not even obvious. Like it's like often just looks like a ding
scratch.
Or yeah. And especially with 2700s, I don't have a really good example because I don't have an iJoy one because I've rewrapped my iJoy, which had a micro nick in it. But there's a seam on the iJoy ones.
Yeah.
On that seam is where it will start to tear, and you won't notice it. It's you don't see metal shining through, you don't see anything, but electricity can still pass through that fracture. So you're still going to be shorting your shit, which is not a good thing. The second rule is build within your limits. Which is probably, you know, comes right after checking your batteries and nicks and all that kind of stuff. And then, is there really a third rule? Don't abuse your shit.
yeah, don't. Okay, I'm gonna say it like this: there are a lot of people that will push their batteries. Don't push your batteries too hard. If you're gonna push your batteries, either, so the way I do it, I don't know what Tom does, but the way I do it is I've got 4 batteries, 4 VTC4s that are my push batteries. Like, I will put what you'd class as like a low build, so I'm sitting right on the 30 amps or maybe 31 amps. Those get replaced every 6 to 8 months. Because you know, you're putting a lot of strain on those batteries, no matter, even if you're going like 0.1 of an amp
They
over.
Start holding less charge anyway, so I mean, you know, you end up basically just fucking your batteries.
I replace all my batteries up to 12 months, at least.
Yeah.
If it's not at the 8-month mark, it's always the 12-month mark. Because you will notice it with your batteries, they will start lasting this time. I mean, shit, I've still got LG HG2s that are like 2 years old. And these things have not been thrashed at all. I pull them out when they're at 3.8 volts. They go straight on charge. Once they've cooled down, they go back into a case and then used. And they last me all day.
Another thing, if you're getting into mechs and you're a lot more experienced, so you've been doing it for a while, you know your Ohm's law, you know everything, you know metal mass, which is something that's never talked about. But basically the amount of wire that is in your build, even if it is a 0.09, for example, but it's like a Frapel with a shitload of metal in it, it'd be acting on your mod as if it was a 0.1, 0.12. So once you know all that kind of stuff and you're sort of familiar with it, then
clued up on it,
then you can explore the realms of pulse ratings on batteries as well. So every battery has a pulse rating. That means that it's a rating when you push the button. If it's at that amperage, it's going to be fine. Which is when you start getting into the stupid Tom sort of territory. But not necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, I mean, it's all a question of getting clued up. Find out as much as you can before you even touch a mech mod. If you've been using a V8 stick, you shouldn't even be looking at a mech mod at all. You shouldn't even be considering it. You shouldn't be offered it. You shouldn't even be sniffing it. Like, it's not even a question. If you've been using a Rigmod for a long time, like a Revenger or something of the sort, you've been building coils, or you've been using pre-made coils that are available in New Zealand, and you're sort of familiar with what ohms mean, you know what that symbol is in the bottom corner of your screen, then you sort of, from there, you can consider it. But it is a completely different ball game. Like, mech usage is, the way I described it to another person, is it's the vinyl of vaping. You know, it's the vinyl records, it's the purest sort of a form of that thing. You, with a mech mod, you get the battery sag, you get the voltage drop as you keep vaping. With a regulated device, your mod is telling your batteries what voltage to give it, so it will continuously give it that until the point where your batteries drain. So it is a different ball game. It's a different experience. Your vape starts off warm, ends up being cool by the end, ends up not vaping, which is when you charge your batteries, or when it gets cool. There is a cutoff on batteries, so you do have to make sure that you're keeping an eye on your batteries of the voltage that it's gone down to, because once you go past that voltage cutoff, it can be dangerous as well. So it's just a little pep talk about mech mods. And if you are recommending a mech mod to someone,
someone's going to jump through the screen and slap them.
No. If you are recommending a mech mod to someone, I would personally give them a little test before you do so.
Or even if you're selling a mech mod to someone,
yeah,
ask them some questions about Ohm's law. Ask them battery safety questions.
Exactly.
You know? It takes all of 5 minutes out of your day.
If someone says, "What's an ohm?" then you don't even touch it. Like, don't let them touch it. Yeah, it's very. It can be simple but complicated at the same time, because somebody can be very clued up on what Ohm's law is and all that stuff, but still fuck around once they get to the device. So it's just a question of sort of figuring out what type of vapor they are, so to speak, and sort of what type of person they are. But you know, that's something for you guys to think about, just because of the influx of the amount of new people I've seen on pages who are using mech mods, who in most cases don't know what they're doing, but they're doing it anyway.
Yeah. Or they're getting other people to build for them. And
yeah, I wouldn't do that too much. I mean, when I started mech mods, I sort of sought advice from Brett Nixon, who's probably one of the most reliable sources for mech mods in New Zealand.
See, I use Brett as well as Phil Hawke. We've had him on the show before, Ginger Phil. And he actually, I don't know where my tube is, I think it's in my box, but he gave me my first ever mech, and we spent, probably 6 weeks every night. I'd message him, ask him questions about mechs, and then he finally sent it up. And I don't know about most people that use mechs in here, but I still actually have a fear of mechs. I will always have a fear of mechs. If you don't, if you don't have a small amount of fear with what device you're using, then there's something wrong with you. You should always be like, you know, I know you're different, Tom. You're on a whole fucking different scale. But it's as simple as,
that's what it is.
Is this mech safe? Is this build safe? Is my battery safe?
Yeah.
There's a bunch, you know, you should always do your checklist.
Well,
every time I pull a battery out of my case, pull it out, have a look at it before I put it in.
Yeah.
Simple.
Like, even when you first pick up your mod for the day, you know, your mech mod for the day, you should be checking your batteries, you should be checking everything, because for all you know, your mech mod was on the table at night and your cat knocked it over, which is dinged the battery, and then you've got issues. You know, like, you want to check that shit every time you pick it up.
Well, you shouldn't leave your batteries in your mod overnight.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't leave your batteries in the mod overnight. But anyway, that's sort of, if you do, then that's what you need to do. Also, for the first 6 to 12 months of using your mech mod, if you're picking one up and all that kind of stuff, you should be running positive up. Reason being for the whole positive up thing, even if it is a mod that says positive down, you need to do it this way, positive up. Reason behind that is because if there is a dent or a micro ding in your battery,
it's going to fire.
It's going to auto fire instead of doing a short, like a hard short, which will cause your shit to blow up. So you want to use it positive up, 6 to 12 months. Then you can start exploring the realm of using your battery the other way around. The only difference between using your battery positive up and positive down, in all fairness, like in all honesty, people say it may hit harder. The reason for that is because your negative tends to get cruddy and archy. And when you flip it, you've got a fresh contact. So it's basically not gonna, it's not gonna have those arc marks stopping the electricity from passing through, which is gonna mean it's gonna feel like it's gonna hit harder, but it's actually hitting just as hard as if you were to clean your shit.
Maxi, so mine did that on me a couple weeks back. So I need to actually give mine a full service. But the way to do it is, that rubber band, the O-ring that's on the contact. Pull that off, give it a wipe down, because shit's actually getting inside there and getting caught. It's really weird how it does it, but it does. So you just have to double check it,
or even replace that O-ring. Yeah, which is very easy to do. They come with spares, or you can actually use O-rings from RDAs, especially the 810 connection O-rings. They're the perfect size because they're quite thick and then they're quite tense.
Yeah, just clean out the clutch system. It's not hard to do. Exactly, Maxie. Yeah. And the thing is, I know for a fact that if you hit up Brandon and said, "Hey, bro, I've got an issue," he's gonna message you back. Like when I first got the Admiral and I was like, "Hey, bro, the battery's not fitting in properly." He gave me a message like 5 minutes afterwards, whilst he was getting a tattoo in New Zealand. Like, he's that type of guy, which is awesome. And I mean, I say this probably every second show, but if you do have questions or issues, just freaking message us. Or Anaru, all Clouded. I know Anaru's always there to help as well. And Phil, all the guys, they're normally pretty, they are busy people, but most of the time they will lend a hand when they can. Simple. Hit someone up, ask them questions. You want to learn about mix, hit someone up, talk to them, spend a couple of weeks learning from them. I mean, Gary, for instance, for about 6 weeks straight, I would get a video call from him every night with a piece of paper, and he's like, "I've done equations." We were talking about this yesterday. I've done like legitimate resistance, the full Ohm's law calculation on a piece of paper. Is this correct, Cam? Yep, sweet, cool, done. And it's simple as that. If you can do it out on a piece of paper, it's honestly better to learn it that way and then go on to using like your steam engine and your vape tool calculators and all that crap. Because then you know it. It's like when you learn anything, like for people that do like websites, you learn the basic code before you start using the cheat system or the easier system.
Yeah.
Simple. And
Same with
you
video
probably
games.
have enough spares, Maxi.
Same with PUBG. You drop in some secluded building somewhere before you move into Pochax.
Damn it, where's Jack when you need him?
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, it was just a quick pep talk. It wasn't necessarily like the best coverage of it, but it's just something that we've noticed over the last couple of weeks especially. A lot of people are being recommended stuff that they shouldn't be getting, in all fairness and honesty. And it's definitely something that's going to be more concerning in the long run due to...
Well, I mean, regulations is this year, and
which is due to regulations.
Yeah.
Like, last thing I want to see is...
That's one thing I'm scared about,
Last thing I want to see is somebody blow up their face when they're vaping. Like,
yeah,
that's probably the last thing we need.
And also, the rest of us lose mechs.
Yeah, which would be pretty shitty. I'd have a very expensive paperweight collection, which would be no fun.
One tip: if someone is going to check with other, exactly, dude, and that's it. You can ask someone for advice and they can give you, a quick rundown, and then you go to the next person and they go, well, this is a bit better way of doing it. And you'll figure out a way that works better for you. And simple.
To be fair, mech mods may not be your thing. Like you may try one and you might be like, nah, you know what? It's not that great. I'll go back to my regs.
Stream is red, video output is low.
Oh, somebody's fucking watching something.
Sophie, get off the internet.
But anyway, it's about time that we finish anyway, so, it works out. So...
Also, if you guys have time, go check out The Omen.
Yeah.
Hopefully will be released very soon.
If you guys have time...
You saw the photo of it, Tom.
Go pick up some of the
definitely.
ARMADA e-liquids, as well as... If you want a cheap-ish regulated squonk device, go pick up an RSQ because it's fucking brilliant. It's definitely the sort of thing if we steal little Grim Green's little thing where aliens come down and steal the RSQ, would I go buy it again? That's a
yes.
fucking definite yes. Hands down. So yeah, on that note, Cam, we'll go off on some clouds because of the red indicator, even though it's still streaming at 4 megabytes per second, but whatever.